Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Priyanshi Sharma. Let's get you the top news stories of the day. The political war over the inauguration of the new Parliament building this Sunday is only escalating. The big flashpoint is whether the Sengol or the scepter which will be placed in the Parliament was a transfer of power, was a symbol of that transfer of power from the British to Indians. The Congress says there's no evidence for this claim, while the BJP has hit back, saying that the Congress hates India's traditions and cultures. Meanwhile, as 20 opposition parties are boycotting the inauguration of the new Parliament building as the Prime Minister is inaugurating it and not the President, the Supreme Court dismissed a plea in this matter. Here's our report.
An escalating political war. Less than 48 hours before the inauguration of India's new Parliament by Prime Minister Modi. Hours after the Congress said the BJP's claims over this sacred scepter to be installed in the new Parliament building by the Prime Minister, being used as a symbol of power transfer by the British to India, were bogus, Home Minister Amit Shah hit back, saying the Congress hates Indian culture. The Tamil Nadu-based mutt that gifted the scepter to Jawaharlal Nehru on August 15, 1947, issued this official statement, saying, and I quote, "It has been well documented by multiple sources, including our own records, that we were invited to conduct a ritual to symbolize transfer of power," unquote. This as 20 opposition parties continued to insist they would boycott Sunday's Parliament inauguration because the President was not inaugurating it. In a sharp counter-attack, BJP President JP Nadda said parties boycotting the inauguration are dynasty-run and at loggerheads with democracy and the Constitution.
मुझे तो लगता है कि जो उद्घाटन जो हो रहा है होगा, ये लोकतंत्र का एक उत्सव है और हमें उस स्पिरिट में लेना चाहिए। ये विवाद का विषय नहीं बनना चाहिए। ये दुर्भाग्य है अगर ये बनता है, और ये मुझे आप जानते हैं कि कुछ लोगों की ये कोशिश है, पर मुझे लगता है कि राजनीति की भी कुछ सीमा होनी चाहिए और कम से कम ऐसे मौके पे हम पूरे देश को सब मिलजुल कर इसको मनाना चाहिए।
The Congress that is part of the opposition boycott released this document, "No Saal, No Sawal," or 9 years, 9 questions today, accusing the Modi government of misgovernance.
हमारी देश पीड़ित है महंगाई से, बढ़ती हुई बेरोजगारी से, नोटबंदी से, पहला नोटबंदी, दूसरा नोटबंदी, गलत तरीके से जीएसटी लागू होने के बाद जो एमएसएमई खत्म किए गए हैं, और इसका पूरा नतीजा आर्थिक विषमताओं पर हमें देखने को मिल रहा है। आर्थिक विषमताएं बढ़ती जा रही हैं। ऐसा क्यों है प्रधानमंत्री जी कि देश में महंगाई और बेरोजगारी आसमान छू रही हैं?
The Supreme Court meanwhile dismissed a appeal by an advocate that sought to ensure that President inaugurates the Parliament instead of Prime Minister. With camera person Xavier Thomas, this is Arvind Gunasekar for NDTV.
And amid this controversy, the government released animated images of India's new parliament, which is going to be inaugurated on Sunday. The triangular parliament will have a Lok Sabha hall with 888 seats and a Rajya Sabha hall with 384 seats, both bigger than the halls in the old parliament. Prime Minister Modi says that the new parliament building will make every Indian proud. And while there are several controversies around the inauguration of the new parliament building from the opposition, former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah says that setting aside the brouhaha about the inauguration for a moment, this building is a welcome addition. A lot of us often spoke amongst ourselves about the need for a new and improved Parliament building. Better late than never is all I'll say, and this one looks pretty impressive. Along with the inauguration of India's new parliament, the centre will also launch a new 75 rupee coin to commemorate 75 years of India's independence. Here are the details.
The central government will mint a special 75 rupee coin to commemorate the inauguration of the new parliament building. The verse side of the coin will showcase the lion head of Ashoka pillar at the centre with the inscription Satyameva Jayate below. The reverse side of the coin will display an image of the Parliament complex. The latest addition to India's commemorative coins will weigh 35 grams and will be crafted from quaternary alloy. comprising of 50% silver, 40% copper, 5% nickel and 5% zinc. As the countdown to the inauguration of India's new parliament building has begun, it is important to remember that commemorative coins are used to mark special events and are not released for general circulation. Sakshi Bajaj for NDTV.
And moving to news from Karnataka, the Congress party has finalized the names of the new members of the Karnataka cabinet that will be sworn in on Saturday. This cabinet, of course, will be led by the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. And now the names have been finalized, the names that you're seeing. My colleague Srija joining us for more details on this. So Srija, 24 more ministers are going to take oath Saturday morning. This after several rounds of meetings of Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivkumar with the High Command. But take us through these 24 names. Who are the new ministers of Karnataka?
Well, firstly, of course, after hectic deliberations and parleys, we're seeing where the total number of, especially, in terms of the cabinet, we are looking at nearly 24 of them who will be taking oath tomorrow, taking the total number of cabinet ministers to a total of 34, the maximum allowed in 224 member assembly. And we are looking at, this is days after where Deputy D.K. Shivkumar and also Siddaramaiah, the Chief Minister, being in the national capital and days of deliberations, we see that the Congress has finalized the names of few members of the Karnataka cabinet. In fact, these names have been finalized after nearly 3 days of deliberations with the top central leaders, including AICC General Secretaries K.C. Venugopal and Randeep Surjewala as well. More importantly, in fact, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge and former party chief Rahul Gandhi gave their final nod to the list, which now we're really looking at that particular list of 24 ministers, cabinet mirth, who will be taking oath tomorrow, now balances the caste and regional equations, especially in the southern state. And also, if you remember, it was on May 20th, as many as 8 ministers, along with Chief Minister and his deputy, had taken oath already. The rest of the 24 were still remaining, taking the total number of cabinet ministers to 34 we are looking at. And if you're talking about the caste situations, of course, this particular final list we are looking at, where Lingayats have been nearly 6 of them, have been, will be taking oath tomorrow, and followed by Vokkaliga. Now, these are the key, in fact, as far as Lingayat and Vokkaliga is concerned, they are the most important, prominent communities here in the state of Karnataka, while Lingayat has at least about heavy influence in terms of 17% of Karnataka's population. We're looking at the Vokkaliga community, which has at least about 15% of Karnataka's population. So the Karnataka cabinet now will have 34 ministers, including the chief minister as well. And the also within the cabinet does, of course, go on to talk about where 4 new ministers belonging to Lingayat community and an equal number from the Vokkaliga community, besides 2 each from among the castes and tribes, and 1 from community, Muslim community, and a Brahmin and a lone woman also been appointed.
Right, Srija, thanks very much for joining us with those details. So 24 new ministers will take oath on Saturday to join the Karnataka cabinet. And moving on, amidst the brewing political face-off between the ruling BJP at the centre and the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi, the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann have said that they will boycott the 8th Governing Council meeting of the Niti Aayog, the meet that was going to be presided by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This as the AAP is opposing the centre's ordinance taking control over the bureaucrats in Delhi. The TMC is also supporting the Aam Aadmi Party in opposing this ordinance, and Mamata Banerjee, the West Bengal Chief Minister, has also said she will also not be attending the Niti Aayog meeting on Saturday that will be presided by Prime Minister Modi. Now to a bizarre incident from Chhattisgarh. A government official got an entire dam drained out, 21 lakh litres of water pumped out, only to find his lost phone. The officer had dropped his 1 lakh rupees smartphone in the reservoir during a vacation. He then got 2 diesel pumps running continuously for 3 days, and he emptied out 21 lakh litres of water, which is enough to irrigate 1,500 acres of farmland. All of this only to find his smartphone. Take a look at our report.
21 lakh litres of water, enough to irrigate 1,500 acres of farmland, pumped out, sent literally down the drain. All because a local official dropped his phone into the overflow area of the Kherkata Dam in Chhattisgarh. Rajesh Vishwas, a food officer in Koilibera block of Kanker district, was holidaying near the dam and dropped his smartphone worth 1 lakh rupees in the water. When local divers couldn't find it, he got 230 horsepower diesel pumps to run for 3 days to empty out the water.
वो 10 फीट गहरा पानी था। तो यहाँ के लोकल लोगों जो यहाँ पे और लड़के नहा रहे थे, उनके द्वारा कोशिश किया गया था मोबाइल निकालने की। चूंकि 10 फीट था इसलिए उनको थोड़ा सा दिक्कत हो रही थी। तो उनके द्वारा कहा गया कि भैया अगर यहाँ से अगर 2-3 फीट अगर पानी अगर कम होता ना तो हम लोग पक्का निकाल देते। क्योंकि ये पानी यूजेबल नहीं था, मैं एसडीओ साहब को फोन किया, सर से थोड़ा चर्चा किया, एक रिक्वेस्ट किया, सर अगर ये पानी अगर मैं नहर में अगर यहाँ से निकाल के नहर में ही फेंक दूं पानी तो कोई दिक्कत है क्या, क्योंकि पानी यहाँ से बाहर निकलने का कोई जरिया है नहीं। तो सर का कहना है ठीक है, अब 2-3-4 फीट अगर वहां से पानी निकाल के नहर में कर देते वो दिक्कत नहीं, अच्छी बात है, किसानों को और ज्यादा वो पानी यूज होगा।
But the farmers were not informed about the excess water in the canal.
सचिव ने फोन किया कि नहीं एसडीएम साहब लोग और बुला रहा है आपको। उसके बाद आया हूँ। एसडीएम साहब तो पहचाना भी नहीं मेरे को। अच्छा। सरपंच को। अच्छा। अब दस्तखत लेके चले गया। अच्छा। ये हमको यहाँ का पानी गिरा, नुकसान हो ही गया, हम पूरा कितना पानी कर दिया। पानी बर्बाद हुआ है यहाँ? हाँ, कम से कम 10 फीट था। अच्छा। पानी पूरा निकासी हो गया। अच्छा। हमको जानकारी नहीं है। किसानों का नुकसान होगा इससे? इसको जरूर है भाई, किसान का नुकसान होना ही होना है।
The food officer has been suspended and the administration says they will also act against the irrigation department.
एसडीएम से उसका प्रतिवेदन हम लोग को मिला है, तो उसके आधार पे हमने फूड इंस्पेक्टर को सस्पेंड किया है और एसडीओ को हमने नोटिस दिया है। और एसडीओ इरिगेशन की सुपरविजन की कमी को भी दर्शाता है कि 2-3 दिन से वहां से पानी निकाला जा रहा था, उन्होंने इस बारे में कुछ भी पता नहीं था, तो उनके विरुद्ध कार्रवाई के लिए हम इरिगेशन डिपार्टमेंट को भी लिख रहे हैं।
Former Chief Minister and BJP leader Raman Singh slammed the Bhupesh Baghel-led Congress government, saying officials are treating the region as their own backyard.
The official got suspended and after 3 days soak, the phone is no longer in a working condition. With Neeraj, Zulfikar and Vikas, Anurag Dwari for NDTV.
Time for a short break now. On the other side, we'll get you the inspiring story of a Delhi police constable from a Labour family who's now cracked the UPSC exam. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Let's get you an inspiring story now. An ex-Delhi police constable coming from a Labour family in Rajasthan has cracked the prestigious UPSC Civil Services exam. The future civil servant Ram Bhajan said that he did not even know what UPSC was until he joined the Delhi police service. But now, defying all odds, he has cracked one of the toughest exams of the country. Take a look at his story.
It's been an extraordinary journey for Ram Bhajan till yesterday, a police constable with the Delhi Police's cyber cell, now all set to be an officer after cracking the UPSC exams. From a small village in Rajasthan's Dausa, for the boy who studied in the village school till class 10, it's been a story of resilience and hard work. Ram Bhajan joined the police service in 2009, but he never let his aspirations end.
सर मेरे लिए अकल्पनीय चीज़ थी जिसकी मैं कल्पना भी नहीं कर सकता था। स्कूली जीवन से सिर्फ ये पता था कि जैसी परिस्थितियाँ हैं इनको बदलने के लिए कुछ बड़ा करना पड़ेगा, बहुत बड़ा। तो इतना जानकारी नहीं थी जब तक दिल्ली पुलिस में नहीं गया था कि सिविल सर्विसेज वगैरह इतना सोचूं।
Inspired by another police official, Ram Bhajan spent months away from his family preparing for the UPSC exams and cleared it in his 8th attempt. He will give it one more shot this month, his last, in the hope of a better rank. His wife, he says, has been his biggest support, and he in turn empowered her to handle the family while he focused on studies, making her even go back to regular school after marriage.
हर सफल आदमी के पीछे एक औरत का हाथ होता है, तो मेरे मामले में भी सर वो 100% सही है। वाइफ को मैंने मोटिवेट किया है इसके लिए कि इनको पहले इस तरीके से वो बनाया जाए कि अगर कुछ जिम्मेदारी इनको दी जाए तो ये सफलतापूर्वक उसको कैरी कर लें। तो उनको आर्थिक रूप से अलग अलग तरीके से उनका सशक्तिकरण करने का प्रयास किया, उनको मोटिवेट किया कि वो अपनी पढ़ाई को जो छोड़ दी थी 8वीं के बाद तो उसको कंटिन्यू करें। तो इनका मन अच्छा था, पढ़ने का मन था, तो इन्होंने उसको कैरी किया और रेगुलर एडमिशन करवाया हमने। थोड़ा सा इसमें स्ट्रगल भी करना पड़ा कि एक बहू, गांव की बहू गांव के ही स्कूल में, और वो भी प्रॉपर स्कूल के यूनिफॉर्म में जाए, जहाँ की पर्दा प्रथा और ऐसी चीज़ें हमारे समाज में चलती है, तो थोड़ा स्ट्रगल करना पड़ा।
For his parents, especially his widowed mother who did manual labor to support him, there is no time for gratitude. You simply do it for your children, she says, teary-eyed.
गोबर भी पीना, डांडा भी चराया, छेड़ा बकरा का भी करिया, बठान पे भी लेगा, तो उन्हें रोडी भी फोड़िया।
कि अपना तो हो ही भला, कोई मेरे पास जरूरतमंद है तो
Ram Bhajans is a story of hope that it's possible to work for a better future and earn it.
And moving on, the Prime Minister, along with his Australian counterpart, announced the renaming of Harris Park, a suburb in Sydney, as Little India during his visit to Australia. Now, Indians in Australia, who have always considered the park as their home, are ecstatic. Here's our ground report from Australia.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australian Prime Minister Albanese unveiling the plaque on Little India, opening a new chapter for the diaspora from India.
हैरिस पार्क कई लोगों के लिए हरीश पार्क हो जाता है।
Indians in Australia who have always considered Harris Park area as their home are ecstatic. And the icing on the cake is the election of Sandeep Pandey as Parramatta's first Lord Mayor of Indian origin.
So you're absolutely right. Harris Park has been called Little India. So the idea is to brand it as Little India, like we have in New York. We have Little Italy. Like in city of Sydney, we have we have Chinatown. So there's a number of places, precincts again, which are branded in such a way which will attract tourism.
Parramatta is home to nearly 53.3% of people who were born overseas. Slightly over 29,000 people in Parramatta area of Indian are of Indian origin. China follows close. Both countries account for 11.3% each of Parramatta's population. Harris Park, now christened Little India, is the first port of call for Indians before they move out to other areas in Sydney. From groceries found back home to a desi cut in local barber shop, it's literally Little India. Sanjay Deshwal, president of the Little India Harris Park Business Association, relived the journey from Harris Park to Little India.
Harris Park and Parramatta were not safe suburbs at the time. People used to come here, then there would be like people who would rob them or pickpocket them. It was not safe areas. And I've seen the transformation from a very sleepy suburb. Today Parramatta is the fastest growing city all over Australia.
Like most Indian students studying overseas, youngsters like Priyanka, who see Australia as their future home, don't have it easy. And with the global recession fueled by the pandemic, as well as the Russia-Ukraine crisis, the cost of living has spiraled globally, and odd jobs too are harder to come by.
According to me, in starting stages, like from 5 to 6 years, I find difficult to live in Australia.
And for some like Ruhani, who made a career in singing, life is coming a full circle.
Kind of be like the bridge that connects, the two worlds and make them one. So I think going back to India for me would I want to, stick to my roots.
With Karthik Mohandas in Little India, Bureau Report.